In order to understand influencing people properly, one has to really distinguish between three things. That is a need and a value, which is what we've argued before already. And then a third possibility is a means. And by means, I mean something like a tool. It's something which is, in a sense, colorless from a moral point of view and can be applied to either constructive or destructive ends. Now, influencing people is like that. You can quite conceivably influence people to destructive ends. In other words, it is morally colorless and can be applied to either positive or negative ends. The concern here is not influencing per se. It is not the behavior of influencing or using influencing people as a means. The concern here is when somebody says, this is an end. In other words, he always has to influence people. He's taken this thing of influencing people and he's put it in the front of his wagon. He says, I've got to have this. Now, what that implies is that in any conversation he has, he really has to influence the person he's talking to. Now, sometimes this is not appropriate. Sometimes the person you're dealing with actually knows better than you. And the appropriate thing to do is not to attempt to influence them, but to allow them to influence you. Which means if you're in the relationship always wanting to influence the other, this is almost classically what a megalomaniac is about, because it means you always have to have the last word in the argument. It's very competitive. It means that you always have to define what somebody else thinks or says.